Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is Brother ELihu. I want to talk to y'all about the differences in perception amongst black so-called conscious people. I recently made a comment about, Umar, and the great contribution, his contribution that he has made towards, our struggle. And not to get caught up in the man, but the message. And that a lot of times our perception is always superficial. Black people, for some reason, do not take the laborious effort in mentally digging deep. I mentioned in other videos, we've lost our perception of depth. And that's been caused by several reasons. Internet, it makes things easy. It makes solutions and answers at the press of a button, as opposed to visiting a library, searching out particular references, and then actually having to pour through those references to seek the information that you're looking for. Cross-referencing. You might have 10 books piled on the left of you, 10 books piled on the right of you, and you're going to pour through all those books seeking commonalities, so you can cross-reference certain things that validate whatever you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And then these memes. I'm not even going to go in on the fucking memes again, They totally ruin a person's depth perception. So we don't use, we may use the word like, yo, that's deep. But in actuality, we don't even deserve to use it because no one is using any depth in their thinking. And that's what the term deep meant. When someone say, wow, man, that was deep. What he said was deep. You know what I mean? It's only deep if it goes, if it tears through the superficial surface and goes and dwells deep down into what's called the core negativity, as which Steve Coakley would call it. The core of negativity. And he told you that this core negativity exists in what's called buffers, circles within circles within circles within circles within circles. Now, ain't too many of you guys, even those on the lecture circuit, and especially those in the conscious movement, you guys may only see the outer surface, maybe the second one, if you're lucky. And then I made the comment that, I told people early on, about my me being an ex-convict, me being an ex-drug addict. You know what I'm saying? I was a hell of a stick-up man. You know what I mean? And I said, some people will undermine me or totally try to discredit me based on the lifestyle that I used to live. And they won't see the message that I bring. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're superficial in their thinking and in their perception. And what they do is they try to attack that superficial thing that they see to justify an excuse to not take responsibility of, getting your feet real dirty in this struggle. You know what I mean? And I got news for you. So then one sister wrote, Umar has many positive messages. Positive? So what the fuck are you saying? You know what I mean? Malcolm was an ex-con and a drug addict like me. He made his contribution just like I make mine. You know what I mean? Yeshua, the Christ, was an ex-convict. They locked him up. His first cousin, John the Baptist, the voice crying in the wilderness, because the thousands of people were coming to hear John, not Jesus. And then John told you there's one coming greater than I, but the people were coming to hear John, another ex-convict. Daniel in the Bible, another prophet, an ex-convict. Joseph in the Bible, another convict. Okay, so God seems to use convicts and these so-called people who society seem to think ain't nothing to clean them up and then give them such a profound message to show that he is God. Huey, ex-convict. So what, you ain't gonna You know, listen to the message he has, the truth that he speaks. He makes no positive contribution. Well, let's go to this word positive. Because to a black person who is seeking freedom, the messages that I bring, Huey bring, Malcolm brought, these messages about engaging these crackers is positive. But if you're coming from a perspective of a Lewis Gates, you know, a go along to get along, a person who adopts white standards of living, white values, who bought into the lie of a melting pot society, and who actually believe that they are an American and not a second-class citizen. That when the white man sits at the table of the UN and begins to talk about the future of white society, he's speaking about niggas. When he actually began to plan where they're going to go in space the next 30, 50 years with NASA, he's talking about bringing your ass along too. See, some of you niggas are still emotionally attached to this cracker and are like in this goddamn dream state. You're more of a goddamn junkie in an opiate state of mind, high, off of the goddamn concept. A concept. Pulled on you given to you by a con man. A concept is merely an idea based on belief, but it's not a reality. It's based on belief. The lies that you've been told. So she reiterated it over and over as if, I don't know, I hope she wasn't thinking that I don't possess the intellect to be able to read what the fuck she's saying. You know what I mean? But Umar has many. So first she said Umar has positive messages. Then the text came back, Umar has many positive messages. I only brought up Umar because a lot of people now, black people who was on board with what he was saying, now they didn't jump ship. And now they're beginning to critique and ridicule him. He's a man. Like any other man. Martin had another woman besides his wife. He's a man. Stop being so superficial and getting caught up inside the individual and not the message. Black people love gossip. They love slander. They love stereotypical, non-having to think shit. They love it. They love shit that's easy. Oh, it's more easy for me to buy into the belief that we're all one America and that everyone loves each other. They can't even see the fact that all the other races are playing group racism and you're the only one, black Americans, who are running around believing that America consists of all immigrant groups and all this, that, and the other. When the white man speaks of the future and the future of America, he's speaking about the motherfucking survival and future of white people. You've been sold a fucking blind and you bought it. In fact, you withdrew all the motherfucking value that you have. Your goddamn heart, your dignity, your pride. I ain't talking about withdrew money. I'm talking about the most priceless things that you own. Your faith, your belief, your principles, your morals. You withdrew all of that and you handed it to this white man. And you want so bad to believe within your heart that this motherfucker someday is going to love you. That someday he's going to do a 360-degree turn and then say that you're welcome within his motherfucking future for survival. It ain't exist. Look at the goddamn movies that he make. I told y'all in another lecture, Star Wars, one nigga. Star Trek, one nigga. Stargate, one nigga. Shit. This newest movie, Mad Max, no niggas. The Hunting Game, one nigga. These are futuristic movies. Insurgent, one nigga. Shit, man. Wake the fuck up. Then he show you movies like The Purge, in which they pick a day in which rich whites go into urban areas killing off motherfuckers as a form of population control, and then they legislated the shit and made it legal. So then by the time you get to Purge 2, it's even more, you know, in the first movie of The Purge, they hinted on the shit without giving you no real detail. They left it broad. By the second movie, they narrowed it down a little bit more. And it's a dog whistle movie. And I told you about dog whistle politics, dog whistle speech, dog whistle suggestion. in which they take turns, in which like a dog whistle, when you blow it, it's only heard by those other dogs. You see? So they don't say nigga no more. Now they say criminal, thug, urban, things of that nature. So when a politician stands at a podium and he's running for president, he says, if you elect me, I'll make sure that we'll take our street backs from the thugs and the criminals, and that they, you know, what he's saying is niggas. Because he can't openly say nigga no more, because you did raise the antenna of the ancient, out-of-date, fucking, no use to no motherfucking body, Jewish found, Jewish owned, Jewish ran, NAACP. National Association for Coons and Pussies. Founded in 1902 and didn't receive its first black president until 1975. And this down just blew a German bitch who was trying to pass her ass off as a goddamn nigga. And yeah, they have Jewish. She's a Jew. That bitch that they busted. I'm gonna pause this motherfucker because I ain't ate breakfast yet. And that shit got my motherfucking got my motherfucking blood pressure up right now. And I gotta take my medicine shit. But I ain't even gonna break away from this one. I'm gonna just hit pause and come back to this motherfucker in about an hour or so. But it's gonna run straight through. You know what I mean? Because when these niggas running around here talking about positive, what they mean is those who are not promoting any kind of goddamn real responsibility that pertains to us getting freedom. Because freedom ain't won in courtrooms through legislation. Freedom ain't won with no picket signs. Freedom ain't ran with no goddamn boycotts. All throughout history, freedom is won by one way, by all nations, and that's through revolution, armed combat, armed engagement. Whether you talking about the revolution and freedom of Cubans, whether you talking about the revolution and freedom of Americans, what white people did with the British. You understand that shit? That slogan back then was give me freedom or give me death. You soft ass niggas. Then you had a nerve to ridicule me. Every goddamn true revolutionary gave their life in the form of revolution. Yahshua too. So don't go to church talking all that Jesus shit. But then you try to down me and try to support motherfuckers who speak about negotiation talks with crackers. And all that kind of shit. The same shit that's been pacifying us niggas and fucking keeping our ass non-progressive. Like Claude Anderson said, in 1865 when slavery ended, black people owned 1/2 of 1% of this country. Now, in 2015, we own 1/2 of 1% of this country. That's what pacification does. That's what niggas like you talking about being positive does. That's what niggas like you who try to undermine real revolutionaries do. Who talking about engaging this motherfucking cracker. Me, the H-Rap Browns, the Huey Newtons. So what? We ain't giving no positive message? Our message is positive for those who seek freedom, real freedom. They ain't playing no games with this shit. They ain't playing this little conscious movement game, you know, mental masturbation game that you motherfucking niggas out there love doing. And that the majority of you niggas out here in these Google sites are doing. The moderators, the owners, and then you and then they're full of motherfuckers out there, yo, who would try to undermine a nigga like me, you, and everybody else, you know, who subscribe to real goddamn freedom, who are really seeking solutions for freedom, who are willing to give their life to ensure that our babies and our babies' babies and babies' babies have a future worth living for. I ain't talking about black people still being around and in the position of a permanent underclass or a slave. When I say the existence of black people, that be any niggas in the year 2100 or any niggas in the year 2200, I'm not talking about us just merely being here existing. I'm talking about existing with a quality of life, goddammit. I'm going to just call this one part 1 and then I'm going to make a part 2. You know what I mean? This ain't no fist-straddling shit, man. God ain't play with these motherfuckers either. So what? God don't give a positive message when he tell Samuel to tell Saul to go and kill all them motherfucking crackers. And don't leave alive none of them. Not even the livestock. So what? Umar has many positive messages more than God Almighty? When Yahshua the Christ told them, go not under the way of the Gentiles, go only into the lost sheep of house of Israel. Huh? When Jesus referred to a Gentile woman who she knew she had no place and she knew she had no salvation. And he only came and spoke to his people. He never claimed to be for the world. Okay? That shit was given to you through Paul's letters, which is not a canonical text, which was not part of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which was not written by your ancestors. And for those who don't know, the Dead Sea Scrolls are found in the caves of Africa. And I don't just mean caves, but caverns, where black people had to hide out because of this cracker. This is where Matthias Maccabees and his family had to flee. A lot of them, the Essenes, who refer themselves, some refer to them as monks or whatever. But these were the holders of the mystery system school teachers, all the way back from ancient Kemet. Okay? These people ain't living in caves and cabins because they wanted to. They came because they was under Roman occupation. It was goddamn Romans who set out to hit on all black babies aged 2 and under. And now you're going to sit up there and tell me that I should be concerned with getting along with these people, and these people have attacked every goddamn race and group on the planet ever since they found out the motherfucking earth wasn't flat. And as I speak right now, and you listen to this video, and I don't care if it's today's date or if it's 20 goddamn years from now, they still will be killing every motherfucking race that's non-white. Because that's what the fuck they do. So who in their right mind will want to try to form a group or alliance with a motherfucker who is death incarnate, whom John the Revelator described as, behold, a pale horse, whose rider name is Death. And wherever he goes, death comes with him. This is ELihu. This is part 1. I shall be back. Stay tuned.